I'm a nervous wreck. Like, I'm very terrible on camera. I don't know if, you guys noticed by now, I barely looking at the camera. My name is Roze. I'm currently a stay-at-home mother, mostly, of 2 beautiful children. And I do work overnight, bartending, security, at some clubs, some private events and stuff like that. And that's about it. Balancing, I wouldn't say balancing. I say it's always a learning curve, but just always time management. Making sure I sleep properly, making sure I eat properly. That always helps. Being healthy keeps me having good energy, and just time management. Taking time out for my kids, time out for myself, time out for chores. That's it. Okay, so for me, I definitely feel like I am a very raw person in general, and I want to carry that over into the podcast. But I want to personally be mindful of still certain things that I say and do on the podcast because I have children, because I know that once it's on the internet, it's always on the internet. I want to make sure that I'm honest. I want my kids to know the real truth about everything. But I do want to portray myself as who I am now, which is a mother and a strong woman just pushing forward. I'm not the same person I was back then when I was doing all those stuff that y'all gonna hear about. So I just want to make sure to keep that clear on camera, Definitely schedules, not linking up, because we all have our own children. Me, my co-host, manager, Bartholomew, we all have our own children, so we have to navigate around everybody's schedule. It can't just work for only one person. So, we've had some technical issues with that, but I feel like we're learning each other. We gotta learn each other's routines. We gotta figure it out, and eventually we'll get the hang of it. It's not a big deal. So I hope for my podcast to be a place where mothers, women, and not just women and mothers, but everybody could come to hear some real shit, hear maybe some tips about things, or not just from me, because I don't think I'm the one that has all the answers, but I plan on having people on the show. We also have other people we're going to be bringing in, mothers, maybe even fathers, aunties, uncles, and everybody has something to share, and I just hope this becomes a place for that. Definitely try to organize your plans and your episodes as much as possible. Definitely recruit the right people to work with. I feel like even though it's very early on, I'm a nervous wreck. Like, I'm very terrible on camera. I don't know if you guys noticed by now, I barely looking at the camera. But my manager is, very, very good with the positive reinforcement. He has very good skill set, so that makes me feel confident that on his end at least, he knows what he's doing, even though I don't know what I'm doing. So, yeah, definitely the right team and organization. I personally use Instagram a lot just because I use it as like a diary. I like to just post stories and post photos and post videos. So I know definitely going to be posting a lot on Instagram, and I'm sure there's other platforms my manager has in mind, but TikTok, Patreon for when the conversations get a little more spicier, YouTube of course, and yeah, all the platforms. You have to shovel out the time to study study things. You know, you want to know what you're talking about, so you have to, you know, do research, and you have to communicate with your group, and you have to pick a time and do a podcast, and you have to follow through with it. Like, you have to follow through with it. You have to make sure, obviously, if there's a family emergency and stuff like that, but you have to do your best to get there, because otherwise it's never gonna happen. You can follow the podcast on Instagram, Kiss Mommy Goodnight, and you can follow my personal page, Infinite Blooming, on Instagram as well. Thank you. Good evening, everybody. It's your girl, Megan Roze, aka Meg LaDon. Thank you so much for tuning in